Hi everyone, Gabby here. How you doing? And welcome back to another Ruby video. You're very welcome here in its proper place. Thank you very much. And if you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe down below in the little red box. Hit the like button and leave your thoughts, comments, and suggestions down below. If you want. I'm not going to force you. Okay. So like I mentioned on my last video, I want to try something a little different. Especially since this is just a short little World of Remnant. I'm going to make sure you guys could hear it. But I'm going to listen to this and give my reaction that way. Because sometimes I feel like when I'm watching it, I want to react, but I feel like I'm talking over it. Which I am, but it just feels like I'm distracting myself. So that way I'm kind of backed up on this too. So yeah, let's just let's see how loud this is actually. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's loud enough. It's loud enough. So I know stitches. So this one is Rwby Volume 4, World of Remnant, The Great War. Yeah, since The Great War has been mentioned so many times, we didn't really get much details that I recall. Unless that just death and I did not really hear properly. Anyways, it's a very short one. I really want them to stop with the World of Remnant videos. I appreciate them, but there are just too many on this volume. I'm like, no mas, no more, please. Okay, just concentrate on the chapters. You, my heart can't take it. Any more surprises? And God damn it, please, they need. I'm just scared. I'm just scared. But until the weekend for the next chapter. So, getting these headphones on, properly push them in, expand this, and let's get started. It's a 7-minute video. Okay, the Great War. I hope you guys can see properly and not so much glare.
The Great War. What a terrible name for such a horrible time in history. Though the war itself lasted around 10 years, the century leading up to it was...
I already hate how this sounds. This sounds too echoey from that. Nope. This is not going to work. Hey, I tried it. At least I tested it with this. So let's start it back here because I really I could not hear nothing. This was just like how you know how the computer kind of glitches, like that kind of sounded what I was hearing in my ears. So let's just start from back here again. So that was a total fail.
Great War. What a terrible name for such a horrible time in history.
That's cool, right? He doesn't sound.
Though the war itself lasted around 10 years, the century leading up to it was filled with so much tension, you might as well lump them together. And most of that tension was coming from Mistral. Territories rich with resources and safe from Grimm have always been in high demand. But the Emperor of Mistral had managed to conquer nearly all that Animal had to offer, thanks in part to an unlikely friend, Mantle. The two kingdoms had formed an alliance. Mistral provided the small kingdom with goods unavailable in the frozen tundra. In return, Mantle introduced technological innovation as well as guidance in the settlement of Anima's cold, northern territory. It was good, until it wasn't. An incident in Mantle led to a strange and unexpected decree: the abolishment of the arts and repression of self-expression. The people of Mantle had come to believe that they would be much safer from the Grimm if they could simply keep the emotions of the masses in check. Given Mistral's strong, artistic culture, many assumed this would be the end of their alliance. But they were wrong. Mistral complied, selectively, enforcing Mantle's wishes only in the outer territories, allowing the centralized powers to continue to live as they pleased. If you haven't caught on yet, Mistral's full of jerks. The people of Vale had a problem with this. Well, they had a problem with a lot of things Mistral and Mantle had been up to. Treatment of their citizens, use of slave labor, and their constant insistence that their way of life was what was best for everyone. Eventually, Mistral made the jump across the sea to the eastern coast of Salas. The small islands and peninsulas in the area were perfect to establish a settlement. They were so perfect, in fact, that Vale had just begun settling the area themselves. I think we can all guess what happened next. The King of Vale did everything he could to avoid armed conflict. Despite cries from his people, he insisted on sharing the land with the settlers from Mistral. But
His staff looks like
to
Ospin's.
this day, no one knows who shot first. But what began as a riot between the two bands of settlers would suddenly become the first battle of the Great War. Mantle quickly came to Mistral's side. Battles were fought on both Sanas and Anima soil. Villages were lost to both combat and grim. And it wasn't long before Vacuo decided to join the party. Up to this point, Vacuo had done its best to stay out of the fight. Mantle and Mistral, having both already established a small presence in Vacuo territory years before, promised to leave them provided they didn't interfere. Soon, those talks evolved. It went from don't side with them to side with us and you'll be safe. Vacuo did not much care for that. They came to the conclusion that if Vale were to fall, there'd be no one left to stop Mistral and Mantle from conquering them next. So they did what they considered to be the logical thing. They drove Mantle and Mistral out of Vale and told Vale they had their backs. I love their style. So the
Me
war
too.
moved on. Grim attacks increased worldwide.
So it was between
The battlefield
and
has
two
been a
and
temporary
the Grim.
ceasefire in order to deal with the hordes of monsters before returning to the fight at hand. Those left miserable back at home, however, were often helpless with their best warriors away fighting the good fight. A lot of settlements were lost during these years, and most were never reclaimed. Rations on food and dust were put into effect. Development of technology accelerated. Humans and faunas who fought alongside one another became closer. And every day, mankind grew more and more efficient at destroying itself. But it all ended in the Vacuo campaign. Mistral and Mantle knew that if they could take the dust mines of Vacuo, they would effectively cut off the supply of dust to their enemy. It was to be a final devastating blow to Vale and Vacuo. They were only half right. The King of Vale personally led his army into battle alongside the soldiers of Vacuo and decimated the enemy forces. Crown atop his head and armed only with a sword and his scepter, he laid waste to countless men. As the sand was soaked red with blood,
I just thought of
the
something.
Grim came in droves. It was the single deadliest battle of the war, and
I just
legends
got
of the
shivers.
greatness and terror of the warrior king were born that day. Historians will tell you most of these stories are nothing but grandiose hyperbole. Unusually violent weather conditions, combined with Mantle's unfamiliarity with the desert combat, are likely what led to such a high death count. But whatever the reasoning, everyone bowed to the King of Vale by the time it was over. The Great War had ended. The world was ready to live under the rule of Vale. But the king refused. The leaders of the four kingdoms met on the island of Vital, and it was there that they worked together to form a treaty and establish the future of Remnant. Territories were redistributed, slavery was abolished, governments restructured, and the warrior king, the last king Vale would ever have, founded the Huntsman Academies and placed his most trusted followers in command of each kingdom's school. He would teach the world to fight so long long as we promise to fight for ourselves and never against ourselves. Seems like we haven't kept our end of the bargain.
I'm going to stop that right now. That king from Vale with one single sword, hand-me-down sword, Jean's family? Could it possibly be his ancestor? I feel that I feel like, could it be that's why Tyrion had that in, because remember he's like, you interest me. But why did he say that? And my mind is like, maybe his from his ancestor back in the Great War. I really feel like something is involved with John's family, and because really we don't really know more about John's family except that he has 7 sisters. We don't really know Jean at all. We just know Jean of Arc. But who is Jean really? I really want to know more about Jean. We're starting to find out more about Ren and Nora, which is breaking my heart right now, especially how it ended the last chapter. I'm in all nerves, and I've been watching constantly everybody's reactions and trying to understand. I'm even re-watching episodes from the last 3 volumes from different new reactors who are getting into Rwby, and I somehow always pick up something I missed or that I watched on the volume 4 that I watch on the other volumes, and it was I'm like, oh, that made sense, kind of thing. Why do I keep pushing this down? I want to go these. So, just so many more questions keep popping up in my head than answers, and I really, come on, can you give us a couple more answers? Give us some good, decent answers these last 3 episodes, because what we just finished watching 9, so 10, 11, 12. There's 3 more chapters, you guys, for volume 4. They better be as long. They better be really long. I don't want them to be. Don't even rush it either. I'm like, no. Anyways, I'm not gonna ramble anymore. This is very exciting. I'm okay. I appreciate the explanation of this, because now I feel, well, the thing is with this video, I have more questions than answers again. But anyways, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to Rwby's World of Remnant, the Great War, right? Yeah, the Great War. And yeah, take care wherever you are around the world. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Don't do it. You only got one life. Don't do it. Be kind to one another. And I will see you guys on the next video. Okay? Switches. Bye-bye.